And I'm Ernest Collins. It is Tuesday, August 30th. We're glad to have you guys with us. Got a lot to talk about.
A lot. We're super excited, and I've got some amazing people. We've got a great studio audience here, and they've told us that we've got like the first 27 minutes to get them in, excited, and just engaged in the show because this is some of their first times visiting us here live.
Absolutely. So, we're going to talk a lot about what's going on in the district.
Let's do it.
We're going to talk about what's going on in the DMV, in case you guys don't know, because people are watching, they're streaming everywhere. You can check us out on Facebook at Shayna. Did I say Shayna?
You're going to send them to my personal page?
My bad.
See that's the setup. You're trying to get them to see my personal pics.
Well, it was worth a try.
It was. Don't do that.
Okay,
check us out on Facebook Live, Taylor and Collins, and you can actually see some of the challenges and things that we do. And then you can also log in at www.dctv.org, and you can stream live off the site.
And if you check us out live, you can see us when we go to commercial, some of the things that we do, how we prepare, how we get set up. I'm setting us up. You know what I'm saying?
Scary. That's so scary, but you can. It's the truth.
So, we've been going with a lot of weather. It's been like 22 days of 90-degree temperature or more. I mean, this is so not where we're from. But I love being here. Don't get me wrong.
I'll take it. Anything that's not super snowy, anything that's not super rainy, anything that's not super cold, I'm all for it. Don't threaten me with a good time.
But 22 days of 90 degrees and more. Now, if we make it through tomorrow and we make that 23rd day, there's a little bit of history to be made.
Sundresses, swimsuits, flip-flops.
And a lot of people disregard that because some people shouldn't wear certain things during the weather. I mean, I'm just trying to get you guys prepared for the winter. Understand some people need to go out and dress like it's in between, not like it's hot.
Yeah.
Because some people wear stuff and it makes me hot. Not in a good way. It's in a very, very bad way. Tell me about your weekend. What's been going on with you?
So this weekend was actually pretty awesome. I got a chance to rest. I got a chance to just really gear up for the football season, which is what I'm super excited about.
Yes.
But it was just kind of cool. A lot of stuff happened this weekend.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about it. Let's get to it.
Well, first, today, like always, today is National Toasted Marshmallow Day.
Roast on. Let's get some s'mores going.
This is real, you guys.
We need s'mores.
I'm not making this up. This is really National Marshmallow. So what they suggest we do is to go out and buy some marshmallows and toast one of America's favorite treats, s'mores.
S'mores. Wait, s'mores?
Isn't that
s'mores?
Color?
I think I said s'mores.
I just got introduced to s'mores. See, you're making me say it wrong now. S'mores.
Well,
anyway.
So for those of you who've never gone camping and never seen this on TV or haven't had those great s'mores Oreos, because they're awesome. It's that fat girl in me. It's graham crackers, roasted marshmallows, and some chocolate. And then you just roast it and you smush it.
And I feel like I'm going to fill this suit up already just talking about all that.
Fat girl paradise.
Absolutely.
And since it's National Roasted Marshmallow or Toasted Marshmallow Day, this is the day I can have all the s'mores.
Now, see, I'm the type, when my marshmallows remind me of putting them on a hanger or on a stick and just putting them in a campfire. Now, I don't know where this chocolate and all these cookie things came from.
It's the people who have more money
and
they can actually pay for more ingredients and they're not using a hanger. They've got skewers.
It's like the modern stuff. You have to deal with some of the old stuff. It kind of makes you appreciate some of the better things in life,
I agree.
Of course, it's back to school. Everybody in the DMV, of course, let me see, Maryland's back in school, DC is definitely back in school, and Virginia starts school on August 6th, which is right after Labor Day, which is what I'm also waiting for.
So September 6th, right after Labor Day.
September, I'm sorry. I'm still stuck in August.
They're going back. They're going to go.
So parents, some of you guys are happy. In Virginia, you guys have like a few more days. Any plans for the Memorial Weekend? Labor Day weekend. I'm still behind.
So Labor Day weekend, I'm thinking about maybe going up to New York. I haven't decided, but there are some awesome things going on here in the city.
Absolutely.
So I may stay home.
Now, here's a bad thing for Memorial Day. Why do I keep saying Memorial Day? It's Labor Day.
Traffic, because you don't want to work. Go ahead, traffic.
Well, Labor Day is not work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't want to work, so that's the day you get to take off.
So if you're visiting D.C., of course, we're having this Metro surge. And, of course, we would think this is over with. Right now, we're dealing with the blue lines and the silver line. And they're going to be single tracking for the most part until September 2nd. And then we go to another surge. So this is going to be a delay for you guys that ride the Metro from 24 minutes to, 12 to 24 minutes between Franconia and Van Dorn.
So, okay. So I do have a story to share quickly.
Okay.
I've been talking to you guys about how I never Metro. I Metroed this weekend.
Wasn't it a wonderful experience?
No, it wasn't.
You have to have a lot of material for me.
No. It was a forced Metro ride. I went to that Dinarum Blanc. So they forced us to take the Metro. So I took the Metro from Metro Center. I don't know what that means.
Metro
But from
Center.
Metro Center, which is over by the Macy's on 12th and G, whatever that is.
Of course you know that.
And yeah, and they were, okay, don't get sidetracked. They were serving guacamole in there, so I went in and got some guacamole while I went to the Metro. But anyway, so then we took it to Foggy Bottom.
Right.
So for people who aren't familiar with Dîner en Blanc, it's a huge, private, crazy, fun event in the district. So everybody wears white and everybody shows up. So there's like 3,500 people at this event. So at that particular Metro stop, there may have been about 1,000 people. And then we're all walking in elegant, all white through Metro. And I guess in Metro, there is an escalator. So everybody's kind of merging in and going up the escalator. Well, somehow, some way on Saturday, they decided that they didn't want it working. So the escalator was not working. It was hot.
So they look like angels sitting in the heaven?
No, it was not angels sitting. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm thinking about you because I'm like, this is not supposed to be my first Metro experience.
No.
Yeah, so the escalator wasn't working. So now people are carrying tables, chairs, food, picnic baskets. Some people themselves, because some people could barely carry themselves up the escalators. But now they're toting all of these things. So my first Metro experience.
You should have took the elevator. There are elevators.
1,500 people. 1,500 people.
You either wait in line to take an escalator to glory, or you can walk.
But it wasn't an escalator. It was stairs to glory at this point. It was stairs. And some people can't carry the things that they bring. I'm not even going to talk about those people, but people, that was my first Metro experience. Needless to say, I cannot tell you when the next time I'm going to Metro.
The Metro is really a wonderful source of transportation, especially once we get through all the safety surges. It's great material, wonderful people. You live a new lifestyle. I mean, let's face it. Where do you go?
I'm going to fall asleep. My eyes are closed so long.
Hundreds of people, and everybody has their headphones on, and it's like no one's there unless it's a drunk man that's...
I will say this, that somebody must have been watching the show and paid it forward, because there was a group of like maybe 4 or 5 guys that had nothing to do with the event. They were just regular Metro riders, and they came down and started helping the women carry ice chests and baskets. It was actually, that was my takeaway. They paid it forward. They did something kind. The women said, thank you. That part was awesome.
I have something else. A pay it forward and be kind in Southeast. A great act happened. I was coming out of the store, and there was a lady, and I opened the door for her and her friend, and they both said thank you. Do you know how rare that is in Southeast?
I don't go to Southeast much, and when I do, people are nice and kind.
Absolutely, I'm always nice and kind. we do big things in Southeast. Of course, you guys, we can't get off the subject. Now, I did say I'm not going to stay on the political thing, but of course, we have to talk about this political race with Donald and Hillary.
Okay.
It's always something. Now, right now, the biggest thing that I know is Donald is now attempting to get the black votes.
I hate that you're calling him Donald.
I'm not going to call him anything other than Donald.
Well, that makes it feel familiar and you like him.
Yeah, from Apprentice. And that's all I say is
Just
entertainment.
Can we call him Trump?
That's no. I mean,
Donald is like your friends.
He's a friend that I don't want anymore.
Okie dokie. Poof.
And he has a lot of money.
Well, he can be a friend then.
Well, anyway, he's attempting to rally up black voters. So he's going to speak at a church in Detroit. And I don't know who's going to show up there. I really like to be a fly on the wall to see who's there. But of course, the Reverend Mark Burns is the one who is behind all this stuff. So he's kind of retracting some of the things that he said, but sticking to the story, just like all Trump people. So I don't know if he thinks that he's going to get more than 1% of the black vote. I mean, he may get 3.
Well, I tend to think that basketball in Detroit sucks. Football in Detroit sucks. Pretty much everything in Detroit sucks. Water sucks. Like, Detroit is good for cars, American cars. I don't know, they suck. So for him to go there and to try to make something good happen in that town, because you know he's gonna write a big check.
Absolutely.
I'm happy about it. I'm happy go Detroit, get your cheddar, get your paper, because I hope that's the only reason you've got Donald Trump coming to town.
But if you look at it, in Detroit, all the problems that we've had, from the auto industry to the water to the government scandals and whatever, you would think that,
about him.
Oh, you can't forget about that when it comes to Detroit. I mean, I have relatives, fond relatives that live in the Michigan area. And I'm not talking about them, but I am familiar with the Detroit area. And other than the casinos making Detroit look like the Wizard of Oz, where everything is poverty except for the casinos, I can't understand why anybody would even show up at this rally. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Well, there's not a cover charge, but I'm sure the pastor is going to get money off the door. So I mean, it's great. The last time we saw Detroit do something was like they had a whole American Greed. They had an episode of American Greed.
Did they really?
Yes, on Kwame Kilpatrick,
Oh,
the
my
mayor.
goodness.
Anywho, we don't want to talk about Detroit. We're not saying bad things.
No, we love Detroit.
Yeah, we love Detroit, but we don't
We want them
love
to get better.
Donald Trump all the time. But I want them to, if they can get something good out of this, and something good can happen for the city, the state, all of it.
He's not offering money. He's trying to solicit votes.
But he's going to pay them. He's going to write a check.
Now, here's my thing. If he had the invitation to go speak for the NAACP at the NAACP when they extended the invitation to him and he didn't show up then,
I thought that was smart.
not to show up?
I thought it was smart not to show up. Because he was going to get eaten. He was going to get eaten alive.
So
It was-
but he's only showing up now because he already knows he cannot win without the black vote.
He wants small pockets of Negroes. Like, he can't handle, let's be clear, I can't handle large groups of Negroes. So
can't
Donald
either.
Trump definitely can't handle large groups. He wants small pockets. I'll talk to you guys here, and I definitely want to talk to the ones that I'm going to write a check for before I leave.
Now, here's the thing.
It's smart.
You know, all of Donald's people, anybody in his camp sounds like him. If we say something negative, they have a way of turning things around to make it seem. So it's almost like the whole camp is trained to speak in a certain way. I would like to, well, I don't really want to
That's
see,
the
but
same
it'd
with
be
any
interesting
cult.
to see.
That's the same with any cult.
Right, so I imagine another average person coming out of this church in Detroit, hypothetically speaking, and they start defending Donald. I'm sorry, I can't call him anything other than Donald.
Okay.
If he becomes president, I still will call him Donald. I will not call him anything other than that.
I won't call him. How about that?
So, you know, the debates are coming up. Of course, this is why we
can't-
led to all this.
I cannot wait. So Sarah Palin was my favorite debate tour. And
I think it's a source of entertainment. when
it
she
was.
right.
It was like my guilty pleasure. It was like better
Absolutely.
than entertainment TV. Like, I didn't care about the basketball these and the love and hip hop this, but what I cared about was Sarah Palin.
To see what she was
I
gonna say
wanted. I
next.
didn't care about the presidential candidates.
Well,
I
she
wanted
can see Russia from her backyard.
that's what I wanted to see, and I wanted to hear it and see it
wanna-
every
I want
time.
to visit her backyard.
I do.
I want to see Russia.
I've called her. She hasn't called me back. I can't wait to go to Wasilla. One day she's gonna say yes.
well,
She's gonna say yes, and I'm gonna let you guys know about it because I can't wait.
she just might.
She will.
You never know.
I'm gonna think it into existence.
Now, the debates are coming up. Of course, September 26th is the first one between Hillary and Donald. It's going to be interesting. Right now, Donald in the national polls was up by 8%. Right now, he was down by 8 percentage
down.
points. Right now, he's up 2 points. So Hillary's still leading, but the lead is going down. Now, there's so many scandalous things going on in this whole race between Russia hacking and I'm gonna be honest. I'm really scared to vote. You know, before we used to use the Chads. We learned what a Chad was, and then we moved into the modern world and we started doing things electronically. And now they're hacking into the system. So it kind of makes me kind of hesitant as far as reliability and accountability when this election comes up. You know that's gonna come up.
Well, the good thing is that they've kind of laid the foundation early, that we know that there's some hacking going on. So we can't and won't be surprised. The good thing is that it makes me remember that that's exactly one of the best things about this country that I love, that we have the whole electoral system, that they would have to be specific and strategic about where they hack and what states they hack based on the
You know,
electoral votes.
you're
And then,
absolutely
so
right.
if they come up and say, oh, Donald Trump won California or Florida, then it's like, nah, that's some BS. We know it's not. And those are the places that have the largest amount of electoral votes. So he can
isn't it
hack
scary
a
to
bunch
know
of small
that,
places.
But it's scary to know that another country who's even aware of the situation that we have here in the United States, and they're able to intervene by hacking and trying to help persuade it's scary. It's really, really scary.
So you know what? So that's interesting, because what I think about that is that this is one of the best countries in the world to live in. So other
is.
people in other countries that don't have it as great as we have it are always looking for an opportunity to help. How do I say it nicely?
But we're in this
Make it look like things are worse here than what they really are.
and that's true.
They always want to help bring us down.
And you know, we should know that we're both raised in LA. She was born in LA. But during the riots, if you remember, just a comparison, they made it seem like if you were outside looking in, say like if you were in DC and you were watching the news, you would think that LA was just destroyed completely. But to
Right.
actually live there were only pockets. So they really blew it up and made it seem like it was something. It'll probably be the same with this.
So they did the same thing in Baltimore
Yeah.
during those riots. But that's the thing, that other countries are always looking at us They're looking for the opportunity or the moment to say, yeah, that's the United States. They're not as strong. Look at their people. Their people are running crazy. Their people are doing this. And it's happening in all countries around the world.
Absolutely.
But because we're so huge and everybody follows us, and we're really the trendsetters and the pace setters for what's going on.
But it's kind of shocking and disappointing to know that we're targeted with this. We have this like cloud over us of negativity when it comes to such. Now the Olympics did help us out a little bit.
They did. Let's be clear. We're gonna always be targeted. When you're the best, people don't. Okay, so I don't even want to mention any countries. But okay, so let's say Kenya, or let's say Turkey.
Okay.
People aren't going after Turkey or Kenya or
they
countries that no.
Turkey?
They're not going after them, talking mess about them.
Okay,
They're not looking to form some type of group or alliance against that country.
Okay.
Because when you're not the most powerful and you're not the most strongest in all different things, when it comes to militia, when you're talking about sports, when you're talking about entertainment, when you're just talking about trendsetters, countries, it's this one. So everybody's always looking for a way to knock us down.
Now here's a question. Let's get back to Russia, because you remember back in the day, when the Olympics it was just the United States and Russia, and everybody else was just like, if you got 2 or 3 trophies,
Right.
2 or 3 medals, you did good.
Right.
Well, now Russia's split up into so many different sections. Will we ever not be a superpower? Because China clearly
We were a
can do it.
superpower then. We're going to always be, but they were at least close enough. But when they split it up and communism isn't what it used to be, things changed for them. But yeah, no. So that's why everybody's always looking at us, and they always have a problem with us. When you're not the best. So think about it. When the LA Lakers were the best, people talked about them. Nobody got nothing to say about the Lakers now. No one cares.
I care.
It's all, I care. But now it's all about LeBron and the Cavaliers. At one point, it's about LeBron and the Heat. Nobody cared. When you're winning and you're on top, people talk about you. When you're not winning anymore, when you're not those folks, nobody cares.
And I guess that's why you keep your name so active. What was it, during the Olympics? The good news about the Olympics is that we didn't hear much about politics.
No.
We didn't hear much about Trump. We didn't hear much about anything. Which another thing about that, of course, in his campaign before, he only spent $5 million total. Well, in this upcoming section now that he's getting ready to go against Hillary head up, he's willing to spend $10 million specifically on ads to smear her campaign. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of it, but I can't stop watching. I
and
just
some of that
can't.
$10 million is going to the pastor in Detroit for hosting him.
I don't know. Okay, so anyway, more debates that you guys might want to know about. The second debate is October 9th, and that's going to be in St. Louis. And the final one, October 19th, and that's going to be in Las Vegas. Now, I don't know why we're not doing it in the battleground states, or they're not doing it in the battleground states. And the vice president, they have their debate. I don't know if, yes, it matters.
I'm so uninterested.
It matters.
It's not Sarah Palin anymore.
Well, it's going to be in Virginia.
Yeah, well, hey. It's just gonna so I guess it's changing, because before the vice presidential candidates gave us the best show. So now it's definitely going to be the presidential candidates.
Well, for the last 8 years, we wanted to know what Joe was going to say, because Joe was a loose cannon.
Between him and Sarah, yes,
well,
that
right
was my
now,
kind of party.
I'm gonna put my money on Kane. Kane, I think, will have and I'm not just saying this because, but I think Kane has more ammunition than Penske. Did I say that right? I'm really beginning to be political. That's
You're getting to be political.
Politically correct.
Yeah, and they're bothering you and getting on your nerves.
They really are, but it's like certain things you just don't like, or a song. That's what I compare it to. It's like a song. When you hear a song you don't like it, and they keep playing it over and over and over and over, and then eventually you start tapping your feet.
Panda.
Exactly.
Panda.
And before long, you speaking the language, So that's how it is with this, you guys. I'm telling you, I always say it doesn't matter who you vote for.
Just vote.
Be smart. Don't waste your vote. Please don't waste it. Now, we have another candidate that actually just jumped into the race to shake things up, which it's vote, guys. Vote. That's all
and what did they say? Wise man said, take a very close look at whose name is on the ballot to make sure you're making a good choice.
I know, because don't become a comedian. I'm going to go in and vote for Donald. And then next
Because it may
thing
be
you
other
know,
people thinking the crazy thing like you just to be funny, and then the next thing you know, we'll look up, and the world is like The Apprentice.
Could you just imagine really
Which I
what it would be?
enjoy.
And I think people should really think about that. If the world was run by Donald, and everybody looks at us and frowns even more so, it's really.
Who would clean my house? Because he's getting
That's
rid
not
of all.
nice.
It's
You
the truth.
here's another-
Because most I guess people tend to call them immigrants, but I don't think they're immigrants. But it looks like he wants to send anybody back that wasn't born here.
His way of thinking is very interesting, and I think that anybody who votes for him, despite, and most, especially Hispanics, they're really loyal to their culture. They're loyal to a lot of things. So I don't see a lot of them jumping on his side
Good,
unless
because
he
they're
actually
good
pays them.
people, and I want this country to be about what it was founded on, which is basically inclusive meritocracy. And we do want people to go through the system and do things the right way. And I mean, it's about everybody. This country was built on the back of immigrants and people who they stole and brought here. And I like it and I love it, and I don't want to see anything change about it.
Hey, listen, guys, we're going to take a break right now. Hope you guys will stay with us. We come back, we're going to have some sports for you guys. We're going to have entertainment. We're going to talk about the VMAs and everything else. We'll see you guys back in a few minutes.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a friend home safe.
And to not blame the victim.
It's on us.
To look out for each other.
To not look the other way. It's on us to stand up.
To step in.
To take responsibility.
It's on us, all of us,
To stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
When my friend came up to me and told me that Sean Powell was on the list, I took out my phone and I called him. That's really when it hit me, and I was like, okay, this is real. I'm a New York City firefighter, and I responded to 9/11, and I am a Muslim.
When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George. Learn the signs of a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Spot a stroke fast.
This is how it should be done.
Welcome back to Taylor and Collins Live.
Glad to have you guys back with us.
Yeah, well, I'm Shayna Taylor.
And I'm Ernest Collins. And of course, you guys know clearly it's sports time, right?
It's time for sports, and we're super excited. I just got a chance to see that some folks have sent us some things in for us to post up, and I feel really bad. But it kind of speaks to what's going on in this town. Somebody sent us a Atlanta hat. We've got some Cowboy stuff. Why don't we have any Redskins gear?
Because we're going to talk about it. And if there are Redskins fans out here and you guys want your stuff displayed, it is.
You got to send it in.
Let us know. We'll put it up here for you. It'll be rough, but we'll do it.
We'll do it because it's fair.
Absolutely.
And we have high hopes for this season for the Skins.
Now, also speaking of the Skins, understand they had a Thursday night game, and of course they're playing in Tampa. So in Tampa, because there's a tropical storm coming up, the game has been moved to tomorrow. So 24 hours earlier, the game will come on at 8 o'clock. Skins fans, however many of you guys there are. There are lots of you guys. I'm sorry. But the game will be on tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Right.
So can I tell you, this is the funniest thing, and I don't want. When I first got here and I saw hashtag HTTR, I was like, why is everybody saying hashtag hater? What's hashtag hater?
I don't understand it
I thought
either.
it was, but it's held to the Redskins. Held to the Redskins. Hashtag held to. Okay.
I want to be careful because I'm still here because, I always want to put a 2 in front of that when they say that held to the Redskins. I always want to put a 2 right before that. You guys can figure it out, right? Yeah, that's
well, it's time for
take.
sports, and we're super excited because there's so much going on in sports right now.
It's football season, guys. It is the time where all the fellas get together, and of course, we invited a lot of females in.
You're inviting us?
Well, not you.
We're inviting you. We're getting together. We're inviting.
Everybody's not like you, Shayna. All the females are not like you. Everybody can't have a Shayna that's really up on the sports world. So we do every now and then invite. Okay, I'm gonna stop before I get in more trouble.
I've got on my one of my mini championship rings today because it's football season. So I may wear a different one every week throughout because I
want one of those.
because you got to win. You have to win. This is the
But
ring.
I am a
This
winner.
is the ring for a winner on a team.
Then
A
I
team
should
winner.
have one.
Like I manage teams that win. I manage teams. These are my fantasy football championship rings. I've got more than one. I'll wear a different one every time.
Tell you guys, she's something else when it comes to sports.
Speaking of, let's talk about somebody else who's
Let's
something
go.
else. Somebody else who's something else right now. I want to get right into this Colin Kaepernick story because it's blowing up the internet. It's all over the world. I'm over it. So tell the folks at home what story is.
Well, the big
because I
story-
get too mad talking about
The big
it.
story is during the national anthem, the playing of the national anthem, Colin actually sat down and didn't stand up. Now, I hate to tell you, a lot of people have sat down and not done this, but probably not at his caliber and probably not in the situation that he's in. Now, my take on this is that he wants to get traded, so all this is playing into his favor. But I think it's going to backfire because he has to go somewhere. And when you do something that's anti-American, people tend to do that just like they did Michael Vick with the dog thing. People tend to take certain things really serious. So I don't know how it's going to turn out for him. But my personal feelings is it's just a gesture. And it's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong within the league that he's done.
Well, I sympathize with the whole movement, the whole movement. See, sometimes when people say stupid stuff and you see good pictures of them and they looking so
Now, see, she's
good,
having a hard time trying to be mad at Colin right now.
I can't be mad right now when I'm looking at all of that.
And see, he knows that. So some of the places that are looking at Colin, they're was it Chicago? I think I know it's the Texans, and I think they even said the Cowboys were looking at him.
No, thank you.
I mean,
but what I'll say is this: I can appreciate how he feels. Like there are definitely some injustices that are going on in our country and in the world. It's not just here in the United States. So to not stand for our national anthem, is he turning over his passport? Is he giving up his citizenship? Because if you're not doing any of those things, you need to respect this country and as a citizen of this country, because trust and believe you can move somewhere else and not be afforded all the luxuries that this country.
Okay, so here's my thing. Like, somebody told me to take my hat off before during the playing of the national anthem. Now I stood up and I had my hand on my heart, but I wasn't taking my hat off because I didn't have a haircut.
You didn't have a haircut. Okay. I knew you were going to say that.
I'm thinking, I kind of felt some type of way when they said to take my hat off. I'm like, take your hat off. I'm not taking my. But maybe would that have made me anti-American if I didn't take my hat off? I mean, I was standing and my hand was in the proper position.
It would have felt a little disrespectful. I mean, because the thing. Okay,
my hair felt disrespected.
So I always, when people don't want to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, or they don't want to put their hand on their heart, or they'll say the whole thing and then they'll leave certain parts out. You have a right. That's the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, the national anthem, this is where you live. This is where your passport is from. This is where you are a citizen of this country. And it doesn't say anything specific about your city or your town or these isolated incidences that are going on with the police. Like, there's a lot of things in this country that have been the same since ever. Absolutely. But we have a lot of privileges as American citizens that we're going to always have. We may not have everything we want, no. But it's the land of the free and the home of the brave. And those things haven't changed.
Now, you have a big fan that's watching the show right now, and he would probably disagree with you. He believes that there's some place like Amsterdam or there are other places that are really. I've never traveled abroad, so
No, I have. And they do some great things in those towns, and they have great, in other countries, they have great health care. They have great vacations. They let you like leave for like 500 years for
Where's
vacation.
The place where you can go and work for 4 days and be off for 3 days?
It's like that in Paris. So it's like that in France. But the thing about it is when you look at their justice system, though, there's a lot of things that are different.
That changes.
The justice system changes. The social hierarchies changes. The socioeconomic thing. There's a lot of differences. There's a lot of things we get here, and it's a lot of things we give up. And I mean, it would be great to have everything, but it's that 80-20 rule. Like, what are you willing to sacrifice and give up? Like, there are a lot of criminals here, and not even just criminals. There's a lot of people who are accused of a lot of things that they didn't do. That in America, you'll get off because you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. In other countries, it's not the same.
You're
They
guilty
just got to
until
say you're
proven.
guilty, and then you can go to jail for the rest of your life.
Unless
So
you
Colin
prove it.
Kaepernick, are you willing to give up that luxury? Are you willing to give up that freedom to move to maybe even another country that's not as strong as the United States? I don't care.
Well, I don't think he wants to or has to move to another country. Once again, I think this is just another scheme to get him out of this contract. I don't think he likes the administration at all that he's working for, and he wants to get out. Now, this is
Play
a good way-
better. How about that? Play better. Because his career, I mean, hey, hi, great. Not too many people get to the league. You look good.
But when you have a
look
new
fine,
coach and
but
you have
guess-
to change everything around it,
He should have won the Super Bowl. Let's start with that. Play better. Play better. Because the thing about it is you got your new coach.
did you ever like Kaepernick?
I did.
Okay.
I
Boy.
did. I liked him a lot.
All right.
But what I have learned, and his mom actually said it, because his birth mom has tweeted some things.
Okay.
But one of the things about him I find is that he's disrespectful. So before he disrespected this country that I love, he was very disrespectful of Cam Newton. And anybody who knows me knows I love Cam Newton. So that game that they played, and then he did the whole Super Bowl thing, and then he zipped it up and then stepped on it. I'm like, dude, come on, you're nowhere near as good as him. So don't be disrespectful. Don't be disrespectful. But his mom had said some things, and I guess what she had known about. I don't know what makes a woman give up her child. I don't know because I don't have one. But she had kind of alluded to the fact that's kind of what his character is.
So that's his mom, okay.
Yeah. So his mom is there. So you guys can take a look at that. And please feel free to jump on our Facebook page at Taylor and Collins and tell us what you think about what his mom says and how she's tweeting. And it's, get it, girl, do it.
Or let us know how you feel about the whole exchange. Are you with him? Are you against him? Or do you just not care?
Speaking of quarterbacks, let's talk about some good quarterbacks. Not so much.
Well, of course, here's the thing. The latest news is Bridgewater is injured, and of course, they're scrambling.
I say good quarterbacks. I say good quarterbacks.
Well,
You
this,
bring
guy
it.
took, this guy took him to the Super Bowl. I mean, he took him to the playoffs in his first year there. So you can't take that away. I'm not a Bridgewater fan.
I'm